Today, we're going to talk about 7 fruits that seniors should never eat. Beware of these. The last one is so deadly. One of these healthy fruits can spike blood sugar worse than a donut. And it's probably in your fridge right now. You're not told about this anywhere else, so make sure you watch the entire video and don't forget to like and subscribe. Fruit number 1 is unripe fruit. Now, what do I mean by unripe? I'm talking about fruit that has been picked before it's ready to be picked. Okay, so you have an avocado, right? And you pick it up and you squeeze it, and it feels firm and hard, like it's not ready yet. If you cut that open, the inside will be hard and chalky, okay? It won't be soft and creamy. That is an unripe avocado. Now, why would you want to eat an unripe avocado? Well, sometimes people do this because they just don't know any better. They've been told to eat avocados for their health benefits, and so they go out and they buy some avocados, and if they're not quite ripe yet, they just eat them anyway. What's wrong with that, right? Well, when you eat an unripe fruit, your body can't break down all of the compounds in there. You start getting digestive issues. But more importantly, in a lot of fruits, especially avocados, unripe ones contain a toxin called persin. Persin can cause breathing problems, heart palpitations, and even death in large amounts. Yes, it's very dangerous. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to die if you eat an unripe avocado, but I am saying that eating too much of it or eating many unripe fruits can definitely cause some serious damage over time. Instead, wait until your avocado is nice and soft and squishy. That is when it's ready to eat, okay? If you see a label on it that says, "Do not eat," then don't eat it. There's no health benefit in an unripe fruit. If you try to force your body to eat it, your body is going to make you pay for it. Now, let's move on to fruit number 2, which is citrus fruit. Yes, citrus fruit. Why? Because they have a high concentration of vitamin C. This can cause kidney stones, especially in men. Now, how does that happen? Well, you see, the citrate in citrus fruits is normally bound to something else in the fruit itself. When it's processed, and when it's turned into juice, that binding agent is lost. All you have is pure citrate, which binds to calcium in your urine and forms kidney stones. Now, I'm not saying that you should avoid citrus fruit altogether. I'm just saying that you should be careful, especially if you're prone to getting kidney stones, okay? If you have a family history of kidney stones, if you already had a kidney stone before, avoid drinking citrus juices. Eat the whole fruit instead. The fiber in the fruit will bind to the citrate and prevent it from being absorbed. So you get the flavor, you get the sweetness, but without the risk of getting a kidney stone. Also, if you have acid reflux, avoid citrus juices. They can make it worse. Number 3 is fruit that you're allergic to. Are you allergic to any fruit? Maybe you're allergic to mango, or maybe you're allergic to kiwi. Maybe you have an allergy to birch pollen, and you're also sensitive to apricots, cherries, peaches, and nectarines, okay? You need to avoid those fruits. Fruit allergies are more common than you think. They can cause hives, swelling, and, in extreme cases, anaphylaxis. Now you may be thinking, but I love these fruits. Can't I eat small amounts of them? Well, yes, you can. You can eat small amounts of them, but be very cautious. Be aware of the symptoms. If you start feeling itchy, or you feel like you're having trouble breathing, put the fruit down and leave the area. Get fresh air and drink water. If the symptoms persist, seek medical attention immediately. Number 4, dried fruit. So this includes things like dates, prunes, raisins, figs, apricots, all of these dried fruit. Why should you avoid them? Well, the process of drying fruit actually increases the sugar content because the water evaporates, and you're left with more sugar molecules. So if you eat dried fruit regularly, it can raise your blood sugar levels and increase your risk of developing type 2 diabetes. And that's not all. Dried fruit also contains a chemical called glyoxal. Glyoxal is only found in dried fruit, not in fresh fruit. Okay? Glyoxal causes advanced glycation, end products, or AGEs. AGEs are kind of like sticky proteins that build up in your body when you eat too much sugar. The problem is that AGEs can damage your organs and cause inflammation. Inflammation in the eyes, in the kidneys, in the brain, in the skin, in the joints. And yes, they can also cause you to age faster. So if you want to protect yourself against AGEs, avoid dried fruit at all costs. Instead, eat fresh fruit and vegetables. Remember, nature did not dry them for you. Number 5 is fruit with pits, seeds, or cores. These little guys are more than just a pain to deal with. They can actually be deadly. Now, most of us know not to eat the seeds in an apple, okay? We know not to eat the pit in a cherry or a plum. But here's what you might not know. The seeds in fruit contain a toxin called amygdalin. Amygdalin is converted by enzymes in your gut into hydrogen cyanide, which can be fatal. Even eating one seed can kill you. So be careful when you eat fruit. Always remove the pit, the core, and the seeds before you eat them. And here's a little bonus tip. Don't even feed the seeds to your chickens or pigs. They can also eat them, and then you could get sick from eating them. Number 6 is canned fruit. Canned fruit is packed in either heavy syrup or in corn syrup, okay? You don't want to eat that. The added sugar will not only make you gain weight, but it can also cause liver disease, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and even cancer. Did you know that? A single cup of canned peaches in syrup contains 36 grams of sugar, which is equal to 9 teaspoons of sugar. 9 teaspoons of sugar. Where does all this extra sugar go? It goes straight to your liver. Once your liver is overwhelmed, it starts making fat, which then builds up in your liver, causing fatty liver disease. So stay away from canned fruit. Stick to fresh fruit. If you absolutely cannot eat fresh fruit, at least eat fruit that is packed in its own juice. This way, you avoid all that added sugar and you still get the sweetness from the fruit itself. And number 7 is fruit from trees that are sprayed with pesticides. So this is very important. Certain pesticides are highly toxic and can cause Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and even cancer. The worst offenders are trees that are sprayed with paraquat, mancozeb, and carbofuran. Paraquat is a herbicide, which means it kills weeds and grass, but it also causes severe lung damage, and it can kill you. Mancozeb is a fungicide, which is used to prevent fungal diseases, but it's also been linked to lung cancer and a rare disease called pulmonary fibrosis, which scars the lungs and makes breathing very difficult. Carbofuran is an insecticide, which is used to kill insects, but it can also affect your nervous system and even cause birth defects. If you want to avoid these deadly pesticides, always wash your fruit thoroughly before eating. But remember, washing your fruit will not get rid of all the pesticides. It will not remove all the chemicals. So here are 3 ways to tell if your fruit has been sprayed with pesticides. Number 1 is to look for a label on the fruit that says, "Do not eat." If it says that, don't eat it. Leave it alone. Number 2, if the fruit tastes bitter or has a metallic taste, then it's been sprayed with pesticides. Pesticides usually have a bitter taste. So if you notice that your fruit tastes bitter, don't eat it. Put it down and find another piece that tastes sweet. And number 3 is if the fruit has an unusual color, don't eat it. It may be due to a pesticide or a fungicide. For example, green apples should be avoided. They're usually sprayed with a pesticide called maleic hydrazide, which can cause headaches, nausea, and even cancer. Also, if you see a tomato that's green, don't eat it. Green tomatoes are usually sprayed with a pesticide called dinoseb, which can cause thyroid damage and cancer. Enjoying these practical tips? Hit subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss simple ways to stay strong and healthy after 60.